Hello, everybody out there absent or quarantining. Mr. Parrott here for Thursday, August 26th, with what we're doing in class, with a little bit of a rundown of how you're going to be able to accomplish everything. First and foremost, make sure you answer the bell ringers. If you need a little bit of how we go about doing those, let me bring up Schoology real quick. Go to Science. We're in the Science Skills unit. Go to this week, the 23rd and 27th, and boom, right here in the weekly bell ringers folder, you will find the bell ringers for this week. Make sure that you're answering them. They're kind of like our daily, questions. If you're in class, we'd answer them at the beginning. Since you're not, just make sure that they get answered. What you will need for today is down here in the, let me just open it so it looks bigger. There we go. Oh, ice. It's a killer there for it. Week of August 23rd through 27. We need to open up that. And then scroll down here to Thursday, August 26th. You're going to need both of these things eventually when you pull it up, but open up the assignment. Remember, when you open up the assignment, you need to go to then My Documents, and your document will load. Open that up. It'll pop it up into a Google Doc. Boom, and then you'll get this. Once you have this opened up in a Google Doc, go back to Schoology, and then open up this ChartGo website, because this is our thing that we're going to use to make our website. Not website. Make our no. Stop. I said Google, so my phone reacted there. Throw that further away so it can't hear my voice. What we are wanting to do is make a graph using this website, and I'll run down how you're going to do that. But first, let's look at what we're doing for our creating graphs activity. Here's what you're doing. For each of the data tables below, you're going to create a type of graph that is necessary to use for each one. You're going to be making a bar graph, a line graph, and a pie graph today. There is 3 different stories, experiments, whatever you want to call them here. We got graph 1, we got graph 2, and we got graph number 3. For each one, you're going to determine what type of graph is necessary. One of them should be a bar, one of them should be a line, and one of them should be a pie graph. If you're making 2 bars, no, one of them has to be switched. If you're making 2 pies, no, one of them should be switched. And there are reasons for when to use each one of them. If you're not sure of when to use each one of them, check out the stuff we did yesterday, which I either sent you the video of me going through the notes, or you were in here in class yesterday, so use your notes for that part, to see when you should use each type of graph, because those are going to be important for us there with it. But here's what you do. So let's look at graph number 1 here. Graph number 1, we've got students making cookies for a bake sale. You're going to identify what the independent variable is, what the dependent variable is, and then stating what type of graph you're going to make based off of the data. Here is the data that you are going to use for your graph. So whatever we have for our x, whatever we have for our y, because remember that is the independent variable is always the x-axis. The dependent variable is always the y-axis for when we get to going on things. And here, I'll even help you out a little bit since you're quarantined to get you started up here for it. In our experiment here, we got a group of students making cookies for a bake sale. The data table shows the cookies made the most money during the sale. In this case, the thing that the scientist is changing, or the thing that the students are changing, is the type of cookie. That is the X in our first problem here. The Y, the dependent, would be how do they know what was the best cookie? Well, that's how much money that was made. So we got this as a percentage sold, or however much money ended up getting made. You're still going to have to figure out what type of graph to make yourself, though. So how do we take all this information and apply it to this website? So let me pull up the website here to make our chart, to make our graph. Whatever graph you decide, you pick from the list here. The rest of this first row, just leave alone. You need to have a title for your graph. Best title is usually whatever the stuff is about. How many cookies were sold? Boom. That can be a title. Skip where it says subtitle. We don't have a subtitle. Click where it says the X title. This is our X variable, which is our independent variable, which we mentioned right before. This is the type of cookie, so you write type of cookie. For the Y title, that would be whatever our dependent variable is. In this case, for our dependent variable, that was the percent sold. The other two things that you need to click for this, down here, the third row, leave alone. Do not mess with anything in the third row here. Right here where there's these check boxes, you need to check grid lines and show values. Both of those always need to be checked because it just makes the graph actually apply everything that we want to apply. Now, when you scroll down here to the chart data, that's it as far as setup goes. When you go down here to the chart data, you need to get rid of those two things. And now you can see it says X data and your Y data. Our X data, we already mentioned, was the type of cookie. So we take our 4 types of cookies here, and those are now going to be our X values. For our Y data, Y we said was the percentage sold. So we go back over here to the percentage sold, and we put it in for the Y data. How the data should look is very similar to your data table. Notice how lemon is first with 18. Lemon is first with 18. Oatmeal is second with 30. Oatmeal second with 30. Everything is right there with it. Then what you can do at that point, we have all of our information set. We create our chart. This one's as a bar graph, but if you don't need a bar graph for this first one, you could change it to a line graph. So there's one for a line graph. Or maybe it's a pie graph. There's a pie graph. So you can change it also at the very end, just in case you did not remember to set it at the very beginning. You do not have to go back and like re-enter all that stuff. You can just instantly change all of the things there with it. Now, if you did not select show values, see these labels everywhere that tells you how big, what each pie slice is? That stuff would not be there. If we go to the bar, these type of things here that says lemon, oatmeal, chocolate, peanut butter, those will not be there. Same thing down here where it says lemon, oatmeal, chocolate, peanut butter, those also will not be there. So that is why showing values is going to be checked and why it is so important, because it'll actually show what we want to on there. And then you can just save this as a picture. It is literally a picture. So you just do the little thing on your iPad where you click on it, hover over it, save as, and then it should be in your camera roll, and then boop, you can insert the graph right below. If you want to, you could also draw them by hand and take a picture of them, but I will say that we'll probably be using this website quite a bit. And usually once you get the hang of how it works, it's actually pretty easy to just insert all the things, especially because you can use that little copy and pasting technique that I was kind of doing there. You can copy things over and paste them into the boxes there where they go. If you have any questions, let me know. This is the assignment that they're going to have the whole hour to work on. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them as fast as possible when they come in. Otherwise, hopefully you're back with us sooner rather than later. Hope you're doing well. Send me emails if you have any questions. I'll see you later. Bye.